So today I wanted to talk about shame versus guilt. And the reason why I thought it was crucial to highlight the distinction between these terms is because I think how you react to your mistakes, whether it's with shame or with guilt, can have massive, massive implications on how quickly you're able to bounce back after screwing up. The distinction between shame and guilt, when put in very, very, very simple terms, is this. After you do something wrong, guilt says, I did something bad. Whereas shame says, I am bad. So where guilt focuses on the action related to the wrongdoing, shame focuses on the person who did the wrongdoing and attributes that wrongdoing to their own identity, to who they are. So, for example, if you cheated on a math test, someone with guilt but not shame would say, I cheated. But someone with shame would say, I am a cheater. Do you see the difference here? I hope this doesn't sound crazy. The difference is that shame incorporates the wrongdoing to the person's actual identity. They are defined, essentially, by their mistake. Whereas someone who's experiencing guilt, who doesn't incorporate it into their identity, focuses specifically on the wrongdoing itself and not making it about who they are as a person. So can you connect the dots already? Come on. So basically, if whenever you make a mistake, you really take it as an indication of who you are as a person and you incorporate it into part of your identity, it makes sense why you might feel paralyzed and debilitated and discouraged because you feel helpless. You feel like, oh, well, I'm just a worthless human being who doesn't deserve love, belonging, or connection, and there's nothing I can do to change it. I'm just like a mess. I'm just messed up. I'm a bad person. So it's just who I am. And when you feel like it's who you are, it feels like it's permanent. And it feels like it's something that you can't change. And that's why shame is so problematic and so debilitating when that's your reaction to your mistakes. But guilt, on the other hand, which focuses on the action itself and doesn't make it about you and doesn't make it about your identity, is a lot more of a productive response to wrongdoing. Because when it's guilt, you feel more empowered and hopeful that you can change, that you can do better next time. In fact, studies have shown that people who experience guilt in response to their mistakes as opposed to shame are more likely to actually try to make reparations and to fix things and to remedy the situation. Or if they're unable to fix it, they're at least more likely to actually apologize to the people for whom their wrongdoing has impacted. I never want to be one of those personal development people who preaches positive affirmations all the time. I mean, positive affirmations obviously are really good, but just be careful about taking it to the extreme where you never want to acknowledge your weaknesses or you never want to acknowledge your shortcomings or your mistakes or your failures, because I think acknowledging where we went wrong is a huge opportunity to learn something crucial. The feeling of guilt actually is a positive emotion, even if we tend to label it as a negative emotion because in the moment it feels really crappy. Ultimately, it teaches you a lesson and it's an indicator that you have crossed a boundary in your moral compass and you should therefore fix things or do better next time. So guilt is actually a very positive emotion, and so don't be afraid to acknowledge it when you feel it and tune into it and try to learn as much as you can from it. The important thing here is to not let that guilt escalate into shame where you you make it about yourself and you incorporate it into your identity. Now that is what you really want to avoid. And so in short, to sum this all up, the key here is to openly acknowledge and learn from your mistakes without being defined by them. So that's it. This is a pretty short video compared to my other ones, but I thought it was a very, very important lesson to reiterate from Brené Brown, she is who this video has derived inspiration from. She's a shame researcher. Her TED Talk went viral. I'll probably link to it somewhere below in this YouTube video. Because yeah, she's written a lot of great books, and if you haven't already heard of her or looked into her stuff, this could be a starting point for you to do so. So yeah, I hope you got some new insights from this video. I hope that the next time you make a mistake that you have the courage to acknowledge it, but aren't overly hard on yourself to the point that you start to feel ashamed and to feel defined by it and therefore feel debilitated by it and discouraged. No, I hope that you respond to it productively by just changing your behavior and moving forward instead of constantly beating yourself up. So yeah, if you found value in this video and you know anyone who would benefit from these words, please do share this video with them. And yeah, until next time, I will see you then.